Hi, this is Null Inquisitor. This video will be about some Game Master's note about running Numenera for the first time. So let's dive in. Prepping the game was pretty much a charm. I had to fight the hyper choice because there is so much good stuff in the setting that it's hard to just make a choice for the story and the campaign. And I had to fight a quality of the setting, a quality, namely the weirdness. I'll do another video about this. So, but when once I settle on things like location and NPCs and plot, it went fine. Once I got decided about the story, it went fine. I discovered that you kind of need to ignore the game mastering advice in the book about making everything weird in Numenera. So you have to make some choice, and as you make those choice, when those choices are made, the story is really easy to work and prep. An invaluable help to kick off my campaign personally is a podcast named The Signal by Jack, who is a pseudonym. This podcast sparked some ideas, and I like it quite a bit. Running the game went very smooth with no hiccups. I had two players, my girlfriend and a friend, who had already their characters in hand, ready to go. But we started the session with a third character, a third player, who hadn't time to make a character. So it was his first direct contact to the game, to the setting, and we had to make him a character before playing. Not the ideal solution or situation, but I just told beforehand to everybody that this session was about to be an introduction to the game, so there was no stress there. It was more about having a good time with friends and having a beer and such. But in 30 or 40 minutes, the character was completely gone, completely ready to go. So we started to play. We had a strong glaive controls beast, a swift nano who ride the lightning, and a mutant Jack who exists out of phase of reality. Those were the three character concepts we had. No dice for the GM. This aspect of the game was the one I anticipated the most. I kind of fear maybe this phase of the game because I love my dice, and for the last 20 years and plus years of game mastering, I always ran my game with at least some dice or randomizer around. But seriously, after 5 minutes, I kind of forgot about that, and it went just fine. So I was ready for that. It was better than I expected. You once you are in a story narrative focused game, you kind of don't need so much randomizer after all. But you have to roll with that style of play. So I'll always prefer my dice and in the way I GM, but I have to admit it's a pretty good way to do gaming. No screen. I run the game without a screen, just my laptop on the side with my story notes on it. But it really changed nothing in the dynamic of my groups. Since we're kind of experimental, so the group ran really smooth, and some player joked about breaking the wall in quotation mark here. So it's like breaking the fourth wall in theater, but it was referring to the fact that I did not have my usual GM screen, and that's it. It was just an opening joke, and it did not change the mechanic of the group whatsoever. The focus was mainly on the story. The absence of mechanics on the part of the GM really kind of push you in that direction. It's like an emergent property of the game. It says it on the back cover of the books that it's a story-driven mechanics, and it delivers. So Numenera does not disappoint in that regard. It's exactly what the game says. So no, I was not surprised. It's not my first experience with a story-driven game, and yeah, it went there. So, grats. Um, and maybe the last thing I could add about the first time running Numenera is the preparation of NPCs and monsters or creatures or traps or challenge. Basically, it's coming down to a number, a level of difficulty. So it's really fast. You really just have to prep description, flavor, and style and visuals. You don't need to really think in numbers and stats, and so it's really fast, really fast. I mean, one of the fastest game I play is Savage World. When you prep the creatures, you just make up stats, and you flip through the book, and you flip through, you browse through the monster's ability, and pop, 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 you choose what you want, and go. Your monster is good to go in 2 minutes. But in Numenera, it's you choose a number, and then you work out if the creature has some specific ability, and you give that specific ability a number. So it's even faster. So you can really focus on the game itself. So there you go. These are my thoughts after my first game. I let my thought mature for a week or so. So yeah, it's a really good game to run. It's a good game to prep. It says what it does. Creating characters is fast. You don't need a screen, you don't need dice, and you can just focus on story. I'll do another video right after this one on how to start with Numenera. Thanks.